We use LinkedIn search that that lets us to find roles by inputting a certain skill that's on the CV or a keyword that's on the CV. So it doesn't have to be necessarily a skill.
People who are looking for visa sponsorship jobs, should they go via recruitment agent or via company's careers page?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question which I had, I think we have kind of touched upon it. I was about to ask, when is the right time for the people from overseas to start applying for a job, and especially for IT and finance, you said, it was never a dip, it's rising every day. So I believe we have kind of touched upon those question already. So I'm going to skip this question and I'll try to move to the next one. So again, we have touched slightly. So for people who are looking for visa sponsorship jobs, should they go via recruitment agent or they should go through the company's career page? What do you suggest?
Mm-hmm. I would just like to take a moment to touch on the previous question, if I may. Just because I feel like it's important to say, and I can't stress this enough. A lot of people is delaying their applications until they feel strong enough, until the situation is settled. I would say that the only bad decision you can make is delaying your application for wherever you are applying, even if you are overseas, even if you're looking at changing your career at some point, something else might come up while you are still a junior, which might give you a great perspective to work in that certain place and develop yourself and develop and grow within the company way faster compared to where you are at the moment. So I think the only bad decision people make is delaying their application, just being uncertain, being unsure. There's no right time to do anything in life, and I'm a big proponent of that. So I would suggest, the only thing I would suggest really is to, if you want to work overseas, the employers are very much more inclined to sponsor if someone is already in the country, in the destination country. So I would say try to make your way to the destination country you want to work in, even if it's a holiday, even if it's a visitor visa, for example. If you've got a family there, that's even better. Try to ask them if you can stay over for a month, for example, and try to look for a job. Maybe there is a company that can offer you that sponsorship, and they are very much inclined to offer the sponsorship for people that are already physically there, because you can imagine it's so difficult to make all the arrangements for people from abroad, especially during the pandemic now. So that will be my advice on the previous question. But if you could just repeat real quick the follow-up question and
can I just add a little bit to what you're saying? So like students who come on study here, and with the new announcement of PSW, so if they complete their degree in 1 year, so it means they can study for another, so they can work for 2 years in UK. So that is another big platform for them, to work with the UK employers and kind of prove themselves that they are worthy of it, and then can grab a visa sponsorship job. That can be one of the suggestions for the students.
That's a great opportunity. I was more focusing on people that are already in the job and slightly older, slightly more senior people. But no, you're perfectly right, and that's a great opportunity to actually for them to prove themselves. Yeah.
So I have mixed audience on my channel. So there are students who are willing to come here to study, and there are few students who are already here, and there are experienced people who are already in a job, but because they are not successful for a very long time, people are getting frustrated, why they're not hearing back from the UK companies. So the kind of questions which come my way is it right for me to take a student visa and come here so that I can get a PSW and then I can get experience and I might land a job? Or should I keep on hunting for a job till the time I don't land it? But does it also mean that my wait can be 1 year, 2 year, or even longer? So those are the questions which comes my way.
I think if I was a student again, and if I was in that situation, observing the market for a couple of years that I've been doing, I would definitely move to the country of the destination country, study there, and take my chances this way. I think there's been so many brilliant people that are now working full-time jobs and receive visas through many different channels, basically studying in the specific country they would like to move to, they would like to work in.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant route and the best to prove themselves, as you mentioned. So 100% agree.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so okay, can I ask the question which I was about to ask? So for people who are looking for visa sponsorship jobs, should they go via recruitment agent or via company's careers page? What do you suggest?
Right. I would say the both will work very similar. I wouldn't say there is much of a difference. At the end of the day, that's the company's decision. And if you make yourself stand out in the interview by showing the work you've done in the past, displaying your track record, a company might be very happy to sponsor you, regardless of the channel you got to them. I've not noticed any discrimination, so to speak, or any difference in people coming through different channels. So I wouldn't say that matters too much. And speaking, the only upside is while you're speaking to a recruiter that's really passionate about his job, that's really building their database of people, they always make notes regarding your situation, and they would always know what roles they can come back to you with. So it's important to speak to recruiters, explain your situation very clearly from the get-go, so they can get back to you with relevant roles. And yeah, that would be my answer. That's all I can think of.
Okay. So few of the recruiters I reached out, not for myself, but for the people who are reaching out to me because I can see their brilliant profiles people are sharing me. And when I reached out to a few of my recruiters in my network, they said, for visa sponsorship jobs, it's better to go to the companies because the companies don't approach them for the visa sponsorship job. So it's always better to go to the careers page of the company and apply there. And hence I was asking, is it same for you as well? Because you must have a different kind of tie-up with the companies on other recruitment companies might have a different kind of relationship with the other companies. So hence I was kind of checking, is it the same rule applies for all the agencies or is it different for different agencies?
So I'm actually gonna respond to this saying that now it depends on the recruiter, on the specific person interacting with that candidate. Just because if they are not too passionate, and if their end goal is to make money and take their commission home, and they don't really care about the candidate, that's what's going to happen. But if the recruiter is actually passionate and their goal is to find the best match in terms of the job and help the candidate that's on the other end, they will put forward that candidate, even though the job spec and the company specify that they don't sponsor visas. For example, based on the idea that they might sponsor visas for some senior roles in their company, just because they saw the potential in the candidate, they will put them forward anyway. And I've come across personally a situation when that was a no-go from the initial brief, but actually the company was amazed by the skill and by the character of the candidate. And I've actually decided and offered him a role, decided to sponsor that role. So at the end of the day, it depends on the on who you talk to. And on the other hand, you can reach out directly to the company, and person that's speaking to you might just not be in the right state of mind that certain day, and will not give you that opportunity, will not even bring your profile to the actual hiring manager. So I think at the end of the day, it's human factor.
Right. Okay. So on that note, I have received lots of profiles and brilliant profiles. So looks like I need to speak to you offline to see how I can share those profiles with you to see what you can do.
Yeah, possibly. That might be a good idea. Yeah,
Okay.
send them
And,
over.
and by the way, all the profiles which I'm receiving, it's through the YouTube channel or through my Instagram page. It's not that I have met anyone personally. I started my YouTube channel from last year, so I'm trying to share my experience from my knowledge. And people are kind of asking, can you check my CV? Does my CV look right as per the UK standards, or what do I need to include? Is my experience enough? So I have reviewed lots of CVs, and I can see they're really good profile. And I was wondering why they're not kind of listening from the UK recruiters, whether the demand is less or is there something else, hence the question.
I think actually having such big database, or the potential to create a database as you have, as a lot of people actually reaching out to you, very relevant experience.
Yeah.
I think that you are very much in the position to start working with some sort of an agency in certain countries that they'll be able to manage those candidates, and you can be very much, I know that might take a lot of time of your own, but but that might be some sort of a way of making this into a profitable and win-win situation to either parties involved in the process, because a lot of people come to you, a lot of people rely on you and trust you.
Thank you for the suggestion. I have not thought of it, but looks like I need to start thinking about it. Maybe after 2-3 years.
Yeah, maybe when you can hire some assistants, they could do it for you.
Exactly, because I'm in a full-time role, you know. That's why when I was trying to have an interview with you, when you said, "Oh, 3:30," like I can't do. I'm in a full-time role. I can do only any time after
Right.
5. Okay.
No, yeah, 100%.
Thank
We've
you for
got
your input. I really like it. I have just one more question left, you know.
bring it on. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now I'm talking about the CV, you know, CV and the keyword. So how people should optimize their CV or LinkedIn with the right keyword. So let's take an example of say a Java developer. So I must be having like 10 years of experience and I have written a kind of detailed CV. But how do I know if my CV is good enough? How do I know if my CV is having all the right keywords which it needs to be? So as a recruiter, what do you look? How do you kind of filter the profiles?
Normally, I can speak for a regular recruiter in the UK who uses LinkedIn and anywhere else in the world. We use LinkedIn search that lets us to find roles by inputting a certain skill that's on the CV or a keyword that's on the CV. So it doesn't have to be necessarily a skill. As long as it's somewhere in your CV that will be picked up by the system or it's part of your title. But I feel like me as a recruiter, I would say, and I can't, tell me more about this. Really, when you asked that question, that was my first thought. A lot of time I struggle by not by being able to find the relevant keywords in the CV, and at the same time by people oversaturating their CVs with too many keywords. So it's a double-edged sword, and I think you just need to be very relevant. First of all, typing your CV. Speaking of LinkedIn, creating your LinkedIn profile, and not going into too much detail. Just focus on very relevant technology that you can tell that it's on demand in the market at the moment. I would say every single position that we've worked should have at least a few bullet points regarding your responsibilities and tools that you've used to achieve those responsibilities to fulfill your day-to-day tasks. And that should go hand in hand. So the employer can see how your tools or how your experience is distributed throughout your career. So I've got an experience that's really ongoing, and something that I see a lot is people putting on their CVs a summary of their skill set, of the tools that they've used throughout their careers. But actually, we can't really pinpoint in what role, in what, not specifically project. I don't think we need to be that detailed, but in what specific role they've used that certain technology, where would they use that certain tool? Because knowing that, we will be able to see for how many years they've used it, how much experience they've had, if the experience is recent, or if they actually need to brush up on some skills. So I think that's very relevant to keep it simple, keep it relevant, but it's very important to make sure that there's bullet points of your day-to-day tasks, responsibilities, and the tools that you've used to achieve it.
I think that was a very important point regarding the CV, and I think I recruit people in my team and I struggle as well, so I can see what you mean, what tools they have used and how many years, when did they use it, do they need to brush up? I think I feel the same pain. Yeah. Okay.
And a lot of people seeing two CVs, of which one is very relevant and has all those details we just mentioned, and the other one not having all those details but having the relevant experience, they will always go for the CVs that's already on point, even though the other person might even be better, might have an edge, might have better personality, but we'll never find out just because the CV is not appealing. So yeah,
okay,
that'll be it.
Thank you very much. I think you have answered so much in detail to all my questions, and I think my viewers are going to benefit from it. Thank you for taking out time, Luke, and thank you for helping my viewers and me as well from your personal time. Thank you very much.
No, thanks so much for inviting me. And if I can have a end note, really, because I thought after you reach out to me, what I can say from myself to maybe, enrich some of the people's experiences or make it easier for them. I would say, and what I've gone through as a person is to never give up, really, to just be patient, be persistent, but not in the same way. Try to change your approach. If something doesn't work, try to go online, try to go on Facebook, LinkedIn, GitHub, Reddit. Try to read about people's experiences who's gone through the same thing in the past, and try to learn from them. And if that certain thing doesn't work and you can't see much responses, or you've been through an interview that's been unsuccessful, maybe not the first time round, but let's say there was 2 interviews, 3 interviews, you presented yourself the same way, try to change your approach. I think that's all I can say. And really, the internet these days is just a fountain of knowledge. It's just a never-ending fountain of knowledge. So be in the internet, read people's stories, ask questions online, and you'll get far. And especially that was a great experience. So glad to be here and to be able to share my experience. I hope we'll be able to do that again in the future when I gain more experience myself, so I can share that again with your audience.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I'll be in touch with you very soon then. Thank you, Leo.
Great.
Good luck.
Thanks so
Bye.
much. It was
Bye.
great.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks to Luke for sharing his insights with us, and I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If you still have burning questions, do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll aim to reply as soon as I can. Thanks for watching the video till the end, and I'll see you soon with my next video. Till then, keep learning.